I feel like, don't you think the ending of a song is very apt to the title of the song, like Bad Dream?
It is.
The ending of it is like...
Yeah, those sound effects at the end. It reminds me of like antlers and worms in the ground, something like that.
That was me screaming, actually.
Oh, that was you screaming?
That was me. Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah,
That was scream.
That was me.
That was not synthesized?
It was synthesized, but it was my voice as well, and I like.
Zoe meant to say it was very beautiful, right, Zoe?
No, I thought I was like, oh, this was like some synth, but I don't know what. Oh,
Yeah,
now
it was
I know
intentional.
so.
Glad you caught up.
Yes, I love it. Well, ladies and
Love
gentlemen,
it.
we have. So, do we address you as Susan or Suzanne?
It's Susan.
Okay.
Susan.
Yes.
But with a space in the middle. So there should be
Yeah.
some pause, right? So it should be Sue,
Zen.
Zen. Yeah.
Yes.
And there was Bad Dream, Susan. Thank you so much for the
Thank
performance.
you. Thank you
Very
for having
the
me.
vibe is very gothic, kind of very very dark, and we love the lighting that the
Yes.
crew gave us.
Thanks.
But what is the song all about?
Well, Bad Dream
Let's move this first.
is
Yeah, then we can see your beautiful face.
Thank you, Zoe.
Yeah, so Bad Dream essentially is a song that reflects an experience where the persona is going through. It's a bleak experience, and she essentially compares it to a bad dream. And it delves into love, desires, as well as secrecies. So, yeah.
When did you get the inspiration to write the song, and like what was happening during that time? They're like, you know what? I need to pen all of this thoughts and information and like feeling down.
I think it's a lot of conversation with my friends, and that's how like inspiration comes to me most of the time. Like just talking to friends, and I felt like, oh, she's going through something, and it felt like it could be a bad dream, and hence I just extract the story and just put it into the song. So
Well, thank you so much, friend.
thank
Hearts
you.
to you for sharing the song.
Inspiration. Thank you so much. It's on national TV now. Congratulations, you made it in a way. Yeah. But it's very interesting, of course, that is one of the songs from your Under Milkwood EP.
Yes.
That is available on streaming on all streaming platforms right now. But of course, I see that there are some songs there, and from the album art and all that, and from what you're wearing today, I could kind of see the vibe. But maybe you can tell us a bit about the story behind that EP.
Yeah, so Under Milkwood essentially was inspired by a Welsh poet called Dylan Thomas.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to visit his museum in Swansea when I was in Wales. And I fell in love with one of his poems called Do Not Go Gentle into the Good Night.
Okay.
Oh, you know, rage.
Literature student.
Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely love
I'm gonna
it.
exit out of this conversation.
Yeah, so give us a space.
But it's absolutely a beautiful work. And then I stumbled into this radio play that he's written.
Radio play.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like, you know, back in the days where like there's no TV,
Yeah, they
they
made a
just
lot of
narrate
radio
the radio,
shows.
yeah, the play on the radio. It's written in 1954, and I fell in love with the story. And this character called Polly Garter, she's a single mom with a lot of babies.
Right.
And she's a daydreamer as well as a heart grafter. And I just thought it'd be cool if I channel some of her spirit into the songs that I write. And that's how the EP essentially came about. That's why it's called Under Milkwood. That's the story. In terms of where Under Milkwood is, a lot of people have been asking like, where is Under Milkwood? It's a fictitious world that Dylan Thomas created. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist, but he did name this place. It's called Lagerup, and it's supposedly a seaside village in Wales. So
There you go, a trip from Wales, a trip to the museum actually inspired her whole EP. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's really amazing. And of course, I mean, what would be your inspirations for musicians? Because I know that you've mentioned a few, like FKA,
Yuna. Genius.
I'm not super familiar with them. They're quite indie, I would say. But what
You
do
are not super familiar with them.
No, I'm not. I read their names and I'm like, let me quantify this. Yeah, but what do you like about them, Susan?
I think it's just their dedication to their craft, really, like how they always try to push their creative boundaries in terms of like, we're not talking about even songwriting, we're talking about like the presentation of it, like performing in a museum, how to embed it in a way that is audio and visually driven. I always find that very, very fascinating. And FKA Twigs does a couple of like fashion show performances as well, which I absolutely adore. It's the dedication towards their craft.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if you could choose a place, right, to curate, let's say you do a showcase for 2024, and you could do it in any museum, maybe it's happening. Tell us the details, girl.
I don't have a lot of details that I could share yet, but it's definitely something I'm working towards this year. One of the New Year's resolution. Smart goals.
Quantifiable ones.
Yeah, but I would really love to perform in a gallery and like we curate the experience and make it very audio and visually driven. I want to work with local artists as well to see how our medium can integrate with each other and create like a very immersive experience.
Actually, I would love. It kind of reminds me of last year's Van Gogh exhibition. If any of you went, so it was very visually stimulating, but also very. It really triggered all my, except for taste. But it mostly triggered all the senses like sound, sight, very, it left like a very lingering, back in the back of my mind. I still think about the exhibition. So is that the kind of feeling that you want to invoke to your audiences who come to your show? That, you want that lingering Suzanne feeling whenever they step out, it's like, oh yeah, Suzanne did that,
Yeah, absolutely. I, of course, like want it to be memorable for sure. And I want to basically share the experience. Like I feel like for live shows, for any type of live shows, I'm sure Nabil can like agree with me. Like any type of live shows, the energy in the room is just very different from show to show, and having to share that space and time together, I think that's really, really precious. So
of course, it reminds me of my experience last year when I went to watch Coldplay. It was my first arena concert, and I'm telling you, as soon as I stepped on the pitch, I was like, this is worth the money. It was an experience. And it's really amazing, Suzanne, because when you talk about music, of course, there's this writing, there's the composing, there's the singing and all that, but it seems like you have like a taste for performances, because you put a lot of things in the performances. Like the venue is something that you actually care about. Would you say that is the best part of being a musician, or is there other parts that you find more interesting?
Curating like a show?
Curating, well, what do you mean?
Sorry, just to clarify, like, do you mean like curating a show or like?
I think what he means is that what's your favorite part about being a musician?
Yeah, because it seems like performing is because you really look forward to performing.
I think. I do enjoy, it sounds really cliche to say, but I do enjoy every part of the process because it comes with different challenges. So like with we're talking about like, say like with songwriting, it's a very intimate process where I just write in my room. I just talk to myself and I just like come up with like little tunes and I later produce it. And as we go into production, we think about like how we can explore the sounds and make your sound an instrument as well. And later on, when we get into like a performance stage, we talk about the experience of like how do we make sure that this experience that I had initially can be translated and can be shared with the audience as well. So I think I enjoy every part of it.
And that's
I love that. It's very evident in terms of your performance. When you can tell when an artist really enjoys their work versus they're forced to work. And I feel like I can really sense the vibe from you. Now, speaking of vibes, we want to of course introduce you to the audience who's never heard you before. So we're gonna play a very quick game of Get to Know You. Okay. So it's just gonna be like we're gonna fire questions and you're just gonna answer on the spot. Okay. So this will be like your little bio that everyone wants to.
God.
Sure.
Next time we'll have a board, right? Okay, so let's start with your full name and birthday.
Yong Susan. I'm born in March 7. I shouldn't have to think about this.
Okay, that's the next.
Where are you? Which part of Malaysia are you from?
Kajang.
Kajang.
Are you from Kajang?
No, I'm not.
What was so excited about it?
I know, but it's okay, cool.
What's your favorite color in your shoe size?
Oh, I love red, as
Can
you
see
can
it?
tell.
Yes.
Shoe size, I think, is 37 European size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Do you have a pet?
I have 3 dogs.
Oh, what are their names?
They are Namna, Maka, and Mac.
Not Maka and Matt.
Yes.
No, one is named Dylan. I'm disappointed
I'm
in
so.
you, Susan.
Well, they came before Dylan.
Oh, no wonder.
Maybe the next one.
Okay, tell us 2 artists internationally and local that you'd like to collaborate with.
Oh, Twigs, FK Twigs. I love her.
I see you.
I
Yes,
absolutely
yes,
love
yes.
her. I would really love to collaborate with Yuna if she would have me.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, just because like she's one of my earlier music influence. It'd be great. It would feel like a full circle if it ever happened. So. Yeah.
All right, I love that. I love that.
Last question.
Last question.
If you can pick one place, like anywhere in the world, to shoot a music video, where would that be? Right now.
Right now, probably one of the castles or museums in Europe, like those old ones.
Yeah, one of those medieval castles.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Norway or something like that.
Yes, like very gothic, medieval.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the vibe.
Oh, I love that.
That would be amazing.
I see that.
I see that. You will be wearing a dress or something like that. It will
Yeah.
be super crazy, be super elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So as for your goals for 2024, we're like still, early in the year, end of the month, but early in the year. Besides, putting on that possible showcase, fingers crossed. What are some of your other goals for this year?
I am actually working towards putting out another EP by mid of the year. So there's that, and an album before the showcase happen, and more writing, really.
All right.
Yeah.
Any collaborators you're working with now in terms of for your E EP?
In terms of my music production side of things, I do have a co-producer that I work with. Absolutely love his work. Shout out to Hugh. As in terms of visual, this year actually, glad you mentioned it, because I managed to bring on board a visual director. His name is Ivan.
Oh.
He absolutely elevated my visual storytelling in terms of, like integrating the visual to match with my music. So hopefully more work with him. So yeah.
All right, fingers crossed.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Ivan.
we wish the best for you. But if you, one last question from me. Like,
Yes.
if you can be in any festival in this world right now, which festival would
Let's
you choose?
manifest
Because I
it.
would love to see you on the big stage with those sounds on big speakers.
Can you imagine like somewhere like Good Vibes?
Yeah.
Like,
And then it's at night.
Yes,
And then
that
everyone
would be
have their
so
phones out. Okay, anyway. Yeah, please answer the question. Why are we answering your question?
All of the above. But my dream, like absolutely craziest dream, would be to play in Glastonbury Festival.
I was thinking Glastonbury right before you said
It's gonna be a dream. Yeah, like a goal that I'm working towards. Finger crossed again. So
Fingers
we'll
crossed.
see.
All right.
We'll
to the
see.
producer or whoever that's organizing Glastonbury, call her up and definitely
Yeah, man.
put in some Asian flavor to your lineup.
Yeah, we'll be their hype man. We'll be on the side.
Yeah, I'll get you guys on a plane.
Anyways, so before we wrap things up, of course, to our audiences who want to check out your music, want to follow you on social media, how they can find you on, the socials.
Yeah, so on my social media, literally type in Susan with a space. You'll be able to find me. And on streaming platforms, just type Sue, S-U, space, S-A-N. You'll be able to find my stuff as well. So, yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is her Instagram.
That's
please
cute.
do again give her a follow if you love, if you're very, very into arts. I feel like you should definitely give a follow, vibe with her if you want to collab with her. It's all about your collaboration, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about collaboration. And
Always so
we are happy to see you here. Thank you so much for gracing the stage with your presence.
I'm so
And
happy
we
to
would love
be
to have
here.
you around again. And we wish you all the best for 2024. It's going to be a long year, but it's going to be a Suzanne year.
Aw, thanks. Thank you for having me too. Like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Thank
I
you so
could be
much
up
for coming.
here again soon.